Okay, so this video corresponds to lesson 13-2, and that is for isosceles triangles. Okay, so we're still going to use everything that we did in 13.1, where the sum of all the angles inside of a triangle up to 180, and the sum of the two remote interior angles is equal to the exterior angle. So we're going to keep using that in this one. So what is an isosceles triangle? Well, isosceles triangle. Well, it looks like this, right? So most of you have seen this in elementary. And isosceles triangles, let me see. Isosceles triangles, they have two legs that are congruent. Okay? So this is called a leg. That's another leg. This angle right here is called the vertex angle. Okay, and these two angles right here, those are called base angles. Okay, so there is a theorem that goes with this, and that is the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay, so pretty much what it says is, if a triangle is isosceles, then the base angles are congruent. Okay, so look at this one. The isosceles, this triangle is isosceles, therefore these two angles are congruent. That's all it says. Well, there's also a converse to that theorem, and the converse says that if two angles in a triangle are congruent, then the triangle is isosceles. Okay, so let's go ahead and do example number 1. Okay, so this is what's given. Okay, vertex angle is 80 degrees. Okay, I'm going to find a base angle. Well, since no picture is given, all you have to do is draw an isosceles triangle. Okay, you should mark it. That's isosceles. That's actually a bad one. Let's try to do a better one. Okay, I think that's much better. Okay, so we have an isosceles. Now it says the vertex angle is 80. So I know this angle right here is 80. And I need to find a base angle. Well, based on the theorem right here, I know if this is an isosceles, this angle is congruent to that one. Okay, so therefore this one is x. I'm just going to put another x here. And now I can use the triangle angle sum theorem, which says that these three angles must add up to 180, and that's all we have to do. So we do x plus 80 is equal to 180. Okay, so x plus x is 2x plus 80 equals 180. We're going to subtract 80 on each side, and now we have 2x is equal to 100. We divide by 2, and I know x is equal to 50. So that means this base angle is 50 degrees, and that angle is 50 degrees. Okay? And if you do the math, I mean, you can just add a math. 50 plus 50, that's 100, plus 80, that's 180. And it's still an isosceles. Okay, so that's all there is. So let's do one where you have to apply some algebra. So here we go. Example number 2. So we're going to solve for x. Okay, we're going to solve for x, and this time they're giving us a picture, so it looks like this. So as an isosceles triangle, well, this one's 5, that one's 5, that one is 6. this angle up here is 3x minus 1, and this angle right here, this base angle, is 2x plus 3. Okay? So that one's 2x plus 3. So how do we know it's an isosceles? Well, we know it's an isosceles because this leg is congruent to that leg. That one's 5, that one's 5, so therefore it's an isosceles. Now, since it's an isosceles triangle, this angle right here must be congruent to that angle. Therefore, this one is also 2x plus 3. Okay? And now we know that all the angles in a triangle are up to 180, so all we do is add them up. 2x plus 3 plus 2x plus 3 plus 3x minus 1 is equal to 180. So all we do is combine like terms, so 2x plus 2x plus 3x, that is 7x. Now 3 plus 3 is 6 minus 1, that is 5. That is equal to 180. So then you subtract 5 on each side, so minus 5 minus 5. You get 7x is equal to 175. Okay, so let's see. So 175 divided by 7, that gives you x equals 25. Okay, now let's say they ask you, like, find the vertex angle. Well, once you find x, you can plug it in, and that's how you find it. So again, let's recap really quick. Since this is an isosceles, the base angles are congruent. So if this is 2x plus 3, that one must be 2x plus 3. Now you add these three angles, and then you set it equal to 180, and then you solve for x. Okay? If you need to redo the problem, like, just pause and like do it all over again. Okay, so here's a different type of example. So this one is going to be example 4. Nope, example 3, I'm sorry. So in this one says, in triangle ABC, angle A is congruent to angle C. Okay? Now, AB is equal to 3x plus 10. And BC is equal to 4x minus 15. And AC is equal to x plus 10. Well, we know that two angles are going to be congruent, right? So I'm going to assume that this is an isosceles triangle. Well, if it's not an isosceles, it's going to be an equilateral, meaning all the angles are the same. But since we don't know that, we just know that angle A and angle C are congruent. And this one is when we apply the converse. And it says that if two angles in a triangle are congruent, then the triangle is isosceles. So those two angles are congruent, so therefore this one is an isosceles. Okay? So now we know that AB is 3x plus 10. BC is 4x minus 15, and AC is x plus 10. Well, how do we find x? This one is congruent to that one. Now this one, it might not be congruent to that one, so all we have to do is look at these tick marks, and we know that these two sides are congruent, and we also know that they're congruent because it's an isosceles. So we have 4x minus 15 is equal to 3x plus 10. Okay? So we just solve for x. I'm going to add 15 here. I'm going to add 15. So that's a zero pair. We have 4x is equal to 3x plus 15 plus 25. I'm going to subtract x. Subtract 3x here and minus 3x there. So zero pair, and I get x is equal to 25. So it just happened to be 25 again. So now, let's say they want you to find the actual length of AB. All you have to do is plug it in. So 3 times 25 plus 10, and that gives you, well, 3 times 25 is 75 plus 10, that's 85. Now, we don't really have to do math again because I know AB is congruent to BC, and that gives you 85. But if you want to double check, you can just plug it in. So 4 times 25 minus 15. Well, 4 times 25 is 100. 100 minus 15, that is 85. So we just proved that it's isosceles. So then the last one is this one. So you have to do is take your x for AC and you plug it in. So we have 25 plus 10, and that's going to be 35 unit bar. Okay, so here's some practice from the book. So practice page 188, numbers 16, and then 18 through 21. And then for homework, you have to do page 190, numbers 12 through 19. Okay, I hope this video helps